Hi, Yingsi Collins here, bringing you some First Strike qualifier coverage. I am joined today by Meow Mode's Taimu. Before we jump into this, I really need a clarification from you. Is it Meow Mode or Meow Mode?
It is meow. It
Ah,
would be like you would say meow, yes.
okay, well that's good because I've seen some like variants of pronunciation in the scene, but yeah, that.
Right.
Thank you for the clarification. Meow
No
mode,
problem.
perfect. You guys have, I would say, been one of the teams that's definitely been surprising your opponents and
hmm
have made a name for yourselves in this tournament. Before we jump into your games specifically, I just wanted to know a little bit about the short history of this team. How did it all come together, and how long have you guys been tracking for?
So the funny thing is actually the guy that who was his name was Enemy, and he made the team, right? He was like, "Oh, you just want to play with these players from because I know Sadovnik from PUBG, and then I know Tom from VPD, and I knew they're all decent players, right? So I just thought like, yeah, let's try it out, and then Enemy gets banned because he was cheating. And then, oh yeah, Tom wasn't in the team back then, but yeah, then we had to take Tom instead, and then we had a bit of a fight in here, a few fights. Like they're kids, there's young people, and I was really, I was really, how would you say? Sorry for babbling, by the way, but
So right.
I like to go around. I like to go around the topic the whole way, and so we had a problem where few people didn't want to play with one person, and I was like, well, if this guy doesn't want to play, I was really demotivated to make a team or again because I had made multiple teams and they all
Mm,
failed, so I had pretty low confidence in it. But then we um we tried again, and then we got Tom, and then we played a few scrims. They didn't really go that well. We had a few okay scrims and really bad scrims also, and then we were like, hell, just play the qualifier, right? I think we had a few days of prac, and then we played against Gil, and everybody was so hyped up, and it was like completely different in tournaments than scrims, and I was like, okay, this team actually has some potential. Let's play, and then we beat Guild, and uh, it's a bit flippity floppy right now because we don't really know our real level. We're beating worse teams, and we're losing to like better like teams we think that are actually better. We don't really have a style either, so we're just pogging right now. I feel like just
mm.
having a good time.
Well, what's the time frame of all of this that you were referring to? So, how long did it take for you to kind of join this team or start this team, and all the way up to you actually going into the qualifier and playing against Guild?
It's been around, I think, 3 weeks or so. Give me a sec. I need,
Wow.
I need to check 'cause I can't remember exactly. Uh, let's see. Yeah, it's somewhere like 3 weeks right now. 3, 4 weeks.
Wow, I mean that's not that long, a long time for you guys to be playing together. But you've definitely made an impression. You had an
Mm.
incredible start in that Guild game, which you streamed. Again, like I said before the interview started, that you are single-handedly saving the sort of a scene for the fans because everybody wants to watch these games, and you stream them all, and it's great. So yeah,
Right.
talk me through that Guild game. I don't think many people expected you guys to come out on top in that matchup. How did it feel to beat them, and why do you think you were able to beat them?
Um, I mean, obviously, I don't think most of us were like expecting to beat them at the start either. I'm always like myself. I don't really care who I'm playing against. I have a very extensive history in esports. I know any team can beat anybody. It's like you can put like five puggers against Astralis in CS:GO and they can win, right? It's always possible. But going into the guild game, everybody was really nervous. I was a bit nervous too. Even though I have a lot of experience, I still like if there's any kind of cup where
Mm,
there doesn't even have to be any money in it, and I'm a bit nervous every time. Um, but yeah, we went into the game. I think we lost 6 rounds in a row. It was 0-6. Um, then we came back to 7-5. It could have been 6-6, and then we lost the pistol, and then we lost the anti eco after, and then we lost the gun round after too. I think it was 5-10 at some point or something like that. But then we had a turning point where we read them really well, and we won them with a full eco when they wanted to fake A and go C, but we caught them mid rotation. We killed them all, and I think that was the point when we actually felt like, okay, now we can win, right? We can win. They probably a bit tilted about that, losing to a full eco. But yeah, when we got the upper hand for a bit, when we got the momentum, and I don't think Guild was actually expecting me to play Odin in Heaven. I think Odin Cypher is not many people know, but it actually is really good in Haven. It's just really hard to play if you don't know what you're doing. I bet a lot of people watch me do it, and I've seen you guys in the qualifiers using my cages now, so I know what you're doing. Yeah, it was really harsh game. That we had many times where we could have ended the game. We actually came back to 12-10, then we lost, then we won the next overtime round, then we lost 2 rounds, then we won again, then we lost again. We had so many match points back and forth, but then finally at some point, I can't remember what happened, but I also threw a lot of rounds, but my team just carried me in those rounds when we actually needed, so I'm happy for that.
You know, a lot of people that watch that game kind of notice how energetic your team is, and you know, your comms and stuff. So what's it like to be on this roster where everyone has such like a big voice?
I like it. I think it's a good thing, because I personally don't. It's hard for me to get hyped about things unless there's other people who hype me up. So I'm very reserved. Even when I, like, let's say I would clutch 1 versus 4, 1 versus 5, I would be like, yeah, I clutch. Okay, go next round, right? But if other people scream like, yeah, then I'm like, let's go. You know, it's good times. It really lifts me up. It helps me play, because I'm a, how would you say? I need that. As a person, I need that to have people who are energetic. Yeah.
Am I correct in assuming that you are the IGL of this team as well?
I guess you could say so. We don't really have many strats, so I just call something. I do a lot of mid-round calling, but there's some ideas. People pitch ideas. It's usually me and Mick and Tom talk a lot, because Tom's doing a lot of entering, so he can see what's going on. But yeah, I guess if my team wants to label me as an IGL, I'm an IGL. Sure.
You know, you've played against some formidable opponents so far, like well-known teams in Guild and of course in Need More DM. Have you spent any time anti-stratting these teams at all in this tournament, or is it just like take it as you go?
No, I think the thing right now is like our team needs, first of our players and myself, we need to learn the game a bit better. I don't think there's any point of like anti-stratting the opponent team, because you have to first off think about yourself, and then when there's a best of ones going on, you just have to make sure that you don't make any mistakes, right? Because you can play default 24, like you can have a default round 24 rounds, and if you just do it correctly and you don't feed, and then you don't throw your advantages when you actually get them, you have a very good chance winning without any strats at all, right? So right now, it's very important for me and my team to learn patience, learn the game better, and then just focus on our own game, and then do as we go, right? So don't think too much what the opponent does, because that's just gonna go into our heads like, oh, you start playing scared, you don't really know what's going on. Just do your thing, right? It's much easier that way. Then when the team actually has a lot of experience, that's when you can start doing strats. But for now, there's no really reason to, because we lack as individuals, and we lack we don't lack, but you know, it's not as strong. The bond is not as strong as it could be. It should be, right? So we're gonna focus on that first.
Well, you know, in the first qualifier, you definitely exceeded the general public's expectation on how well you could do. You know, some people kind of felt like maybe the Guild game could have been a one-off and so on, but you did make it very far. You know, you made it just as far as some of the other teams that have been in the scene for a long time. How would you compare that first week of competition to everything that you've gone through today? Is it easier now that you've actually played some officials as a team?
No, I think it's still the same. We also have a hard time playing right now because Sadovnik and Tom both have corona.
Oh.
RIP. No, I'm just kidding. But they do have corona actually.
Oh,
So
do they?
Sadovnik,
I had no idea. Oh, wow.
yeah, Tom has, I think his fever has gone down, so he's kind of normal, but he feels a bit down now and then. Sadovnik actually has high fever. Even today, all the time he would say like I want to vomit, I'm feeling pretty bad and stuff like that. So it's really harsh right now, but I hope we can pull through. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, how long have they been like this? Were they like this in the first qualifier as well? Is that what you had to deal with?
So I think Sadovnik got sick the day we started playing the Need More DM game, and Tom had it already like ages ago, but he's still like I don't know is it after sickness or something like that?
Like not 100%. He's not like fully recovered.
He's not fully recovered.
Oh wow! Well, I hope they get well soon. That sounds really serious.
It's hard right now, but I think they're doing fine. They're just like I would describe it, or they would describe it as a bit harsher flu. We're young, so we're gonna be fine, you know.
I mean, that's very optimistic. I like that. You know, going forward, because you do have another chance at qualifying. If not today, then maybe Thursday as well, Thursday and Friday. What do you think your chances are going through, not just, I guess, your game against Wave, which is coming up tomorrow, but going a bit further than that as well?
I think the Wave game it should be easy. In my opinion, it should be easy. The game after it is going to be Heretics, almost 100%, because I think Heretics actually they are, my personal opinion, they're the best team in the EU right now. They have a very distinct style how they play, and they have really good individuals. It's just that since they play such a style, like, I would say they play a very reactive style. They do things at the start of the round, and then they stop, and then they want you to do something, and then they already have a strat for that, what you're supposed to do, right? So they play a very funny way, and then they all have really good aim, and good mechanics. So it's definitely not an easy game. I think it's going to be a very hard game. I think like they're pretty much our kryptonite. I think we've scrimmed them a few times, 3-4 times, and we barely even get any rounds out of them. But then again, we are a very different team in scrims than in real games, so I can't really say how it's going to go. I think the Wave game we're going to win, and then the Heretics game is going to be 50-50.
Well, I mean, even if you don't beat Heretics, you'll have another chance.
Yes,
and assuming by then Heretics would have moved on to that playing stage, so you won't face them again. So, I mean, you're pretty optimistic and positive about at least making it to the playing stage, right?
Yes, I think we have a good chance of getting to the playing stage. Then, depending what teams we face, because I think we can beat any team, but some of the teams just are really our kryptonite, because we don't. I think we play like rabid dogs at times. We don't really, we don't think too hard, you know. And then if we were a bit more reserved, I think we would have a better time. I'm trying to leash the boys in. I'm trying to leash myself in, so I don't go dying like an idiot everywhere. Especially since Cypher is not really my role. I just felt like I need to play Cypher, because we had this point where we had a Cypher player, then we kicked him because people didn't want to play with him, and then I'm like, okay, well, there's no Cypher players, I guess I'm playing Cypher then. And then now I'm playing Cypher, and Rask is off-road. Rask is a smoke player, and Sadovnik is a jet player. So we have 4 people, and Mika is a duelist player too. So we have 4 people off-rolling, and then we have Tom playing one trick in jet. It's really funny.
I mean, he's a very good jet one trick though.
He is very, very good. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, speaking.
No, he's not actually a one trick. I'm just. I'm saying this to piss him off. You know?
I mean, I actually did want to talk about him real quick, because he's very popular in the scene. A lot of people know him. You know, he does have a really big personality, and we can definitely see that when you are streaming. What's he like as a teammate? And is there anything that you feel like people don't know about him? That
I hate him so so much. I hate him so much. No, I'm just kidding. Tom is a great teammate. He's still young. He hasn't played in teams pretty much at all. So he has a lot of things to improve on. But as a personal player, like I would say, like when he is in this state of like he really wants to, like he always wants to win really hard, and I think that's a good thing. That's why also he sometimes gets a bit mad. But I'm the one, because I'm like the kindergarten. I keep the kindergarten like straight, right? So I keep them in my leash, but I think Tom is a really good, cool guy. When he learns some patience and he learns not how to dash forward all the time, I think he's going to be one of the best Jets in the world.
I like that. Thank you. And lastly, for people who don't really know your team that well, or people who are interested in the story and how you guys are coming up, where would you rate yourself right now in terms of Europe, and what kind of style do you think you guys have that people should be looking out for?
I would say we are top 20 right now, but I think we have a good chance of beating anybody if we just like. It's really hard to say because our style is kind of reactive, because I think as an IGL, if I IGL, I pick up people's tendencies, how they play like easily, right? And then I can do reactive calling, but I can also be a double-edged sword where I call the most stupid shit. Okay, sorry for swearing, but I call the most stupid stuff. And if I just have a good day and the boys are feeling confident in themselves, I'm trying to hype them up as they go. And Tom goes big, I think we have a good chance of beating anybody and actually going to first strike.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for your time. I've really loved your performances so far, and best of luck against Wave tomorrow.
Thank you so much.
Perfect. Thank you so much for your time, Tomo. And
say hello to Boaster, by the way.
I will. He's really excited.
Congrats.
He's very excited that I'm speaking to you. I'll tell him. Thanks, man. Thank you, Joe.
Bye.
See you later.
Bye.